How are they going to turn?
Basically, people were.
Yourself that question.
Hi guys, if anybody hears me already, we're just being set up. We had to go a back way through this encoder. I'm getting in the chat now.
There's people out there.
Okay, now I'm in chat.
Minister, you know, I thought.
I'm gonna say that one more time.
He's going to get rid of
back to
5.
Minister, you know, I thought.
I'm gonna say that one more time.
He's going to get rid of
back to.
I'll go back to
5.
now.
This is on. That was down too. Do you guys still hear the portal?
Is that the one that you're on?
With I disappeared with the green screen and wanted to ask questions, and I prepped them ahead of time and let them know I just significant ones that I feel are really important.
We might not be able to record this.
And I appreciate that feedback. That's the exact feedback that I'm looking for, so thank you guys. That
Where's XSplit?
you gotta minimize. It's buffering.
I'm sorry.
I completely forgot like where I was just talking about. And I appreciate that feedback. That's the exact feedback that I'm looking for, so thank you guys. That it's buffering. Okay, we'll try it like that for a minute. I completely forgot like where I was just talking about. And I appreciate that feedback. That's the exact feedback that I'm looking for, so thank you guys. That I've got Jeff here with me tonight actually, so he can sit there and troubleshoot along the way. There's looping of audio. Okay, we'll try it like that for a minute.
You have to push mute on
And I appreciate that.
YouTube. Yep.
Yeah.
Anything else playing in the background?
Is that better? I thought it was muted, but it was up just a wee bit. Well, the pedal's attached to the portal, but I don't have it on yet. I've got it plugged in through the output, but it's turned down, so no sound should be coming out of that right now. But I did have a little bit of audio playing on the actual YouTube page. Thank you so much. You are the best. And that's why I like to do these little tests and things, because the next times they just get better. So, this is something I've been working on for a few years now, and I've had to put off for different reasons. And I have always had a fascination with, you know, not just paranormal, but a lot of different things. One of which is how people can just disappear and never be heard from again. The whole they disappeared just into thin air. I don't buy it. It never made sense to me. I would start to look at the statistics of people going missing, and it was just heartbreaking. Going through school, I had a girl that was missing. I ended up working for her aunt later on, but she was kidnapped and put in the trunk of a car and driven off one of our spots that, we would go party at and everything, and they burned her alive. And knowing that kind of ugliness happened at such an early age, I couldn't wrap my head around it. I couldn't understand how people could be like that. I'm the type of person that if I had to help you give yourself an allergy shot, I would feel really weird about having to poke you. So people hurting people is just something I never understood, and I took a lot of psychology classes and did a lot of study on things like that. I started communicating young and started finding that although they aren't very good about telling the future, like lottery numbers or presidential elections so much, they are good at telling us about things that have happened, in real life, major events that I'm sure they hear, and I don't know how they talk to each other, but they do. And hey, Rob. And I feel for the families. You see the shows, you hear the families talking, and people get away with it. They get along with their lives. Decades go by and they've lived a normal life, while these family members every single day are looking at every single person on the street. They're listening to every lead. They're being reminded of this person all the time, not knowing, are they crying out for help? Are they scared? That's hell for everybody. And I started realizing that if they could get answers to things like that, maybe I could just ask them, and they could tell me things. They've helped me find checks. They've helped me find missing items. They've taken us to specific graves at the cemeteries. All of a sudden it'd be saying this first and last name, and we're looking at it what? And we look up in front of us, and you have the ash boxes right there, and sure enough, boom, there's dude's first and last name. And he's one that actually I kept talking to on the ride home, because it was just 5 minutes away, and he talked to us a couple days, and then he was gone. But I want to be able to help bring closure to these families, bring justice to the people that have done these things, thinking that they could do horrendous crimes and get away with it. Back then, before the 80s, DNA really wasn't much of a thing, but lucky enough, there were a lot of smart detectives that knew to save a few things, and that stuff still works to this day. More and more now, people are starting to listen to people like us more. And if you give them a tip, and if you happen to say a key word that they haven't released, but it's something they're thinking about, and you happen to touch on it, they're more apt to maybe look into it, knowing that there's no way you have known that. And a couple cases that I'm working on right now, there's actually some off-duty officers that are working on the case, as well as the officer still on duty, and a small search team, and they're very open-minded. Of course, it won't hold up in law and all that, court of law, but sometimes you don't need all that. It's the closure, it's just the satisfaction of knowing. So I was looking for a cold case in the area that is still ongoing, and this one stood out to me because it's from Fremont, and just in January the police had asked to reopen the case again and ask for help from the public, and if you have any information and all they want to know. So it's, you know, coming back up again in their boxes. You know, they don't want to have to destroy these records. They want to find out what's going on. So I thought I would ask some questions. I spent a day researching some of the main newspaper articles that I found, and some of which I'm just going to read how they explained it, because the story itself is pretty cut and dry. There's really not a lot to it, but there's different ways it could go. And if you look up here, I actually have some age renditions. I'm missing one here. There's one showing 3. Jeff, you know, Jeffrey, you know the picture I showed you that shows all 3 of them?
Alright, go to XSplit. What picture? This one?
This one.
Okay, click it. And now you can make it bigger.
Oh.
Alright, going to the... like that.
Oh, not big. This one little like piece of picture.
They can
Okay.
see that.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, that's what they see. They see what the whole picture is.
Oh, okay. I guess you do see that.
Yeah, see what we just did?
Oh, it's in the corner. Right on, right on. Right on, right on.
Oh, I made it bigger.
Yeah. Here's the delay. So that's like a rendition they did. He was 14 when he disappeared. He would be 47 now. And what I'm going to read off of is this right here. I don't know what you guys see while I'm reading off of my
You
article.
want them to see that?
Yeah.
Go to XSplit.
Hold on, I'll let you guys see what I'm doing in a sec. Jeff's gonna hook it up.
I think that's the one right there. Oh, that's the map.
I'm gonna play with this more during the week.
There's the window.
There's gonna be a couple more like that too.
Again, a little smaller. And now we can go over here. They see that. That's what they see.
Okay.
But you can scroll around and that's what they would see.
Right on, so then when I do my map, they can see that too, when I'm doing
That's
the
the
ghost
other
box
click. Yeah,
with the
that's the
map.
other click over there on the XSplit.
Alright, so back in January, detectives seek help from public to solve Fremont cold case.
Playing over. I also made a video right here called
That's why test runs are
This one right here.
important.
Put that up to the front.
We interviewed witnesses and family members. They executed a search warrant here, which included digging up the backyard. This is a picture of 14-year-old Daniel Naylor in 1982, about the time he disappeared. Police were told he had an argument with his father and to be seen again. Fremont police tell me tonight they're re-interviewing of family members and inconsistencies in some of their statement.
Yeah, they'd be able to hear you.
Do you hear me?
Not yet. Waiting for it. Yeah, I did hear it.
Heard what? The video?
Now they can hear you. Because when I had that
Okay,
little box
so-
on there, it did play.
So,
They can hear you.
okay. More than 3 decades after the disappearance of 14-year-old Fremont boy, the case is back open and detectives say they need the public's help to solve it. Family members declined to speak on camera, but we did talk to neighbors as well as Fremont police who say this is the primary cold case they are investigating right now. The neighbors on Nightingale Place, a mystery remains unsolved. You wonder, did something bad happen to him? It makes you start thinking all over. Fremont resident Charlene said, "Every time we thought we had something, it didn't pan out." Daniel Naylor went missing around 7:30 p.m. on October 5th, 1982, after an argument with his parents at his home on Nightingale Place, according to the police. Naylor, then 14 years old, was last seen leaving his house in an unknown direction. Police said neighbors conducted a search and also were able to locate his bike along the Alameda Creek Regional Trail. Everybody wants an answer. Some people think he was killed, and some people think he just ran away, Forney said. And again, this is him here. About a month after his disappearance, investigators say when no one was home, Naylor returned to his house and took every piece of property belonging to him. He was neither seen nor heard from after the incident, and the case went cold. Last summer, Fremont detectives said they were contacted by the Folsom Police Department stating that they had located a man in their city that looked similar to his age-progressed photo that had been released of Naylor at age 44. We started looking at it, and right away we started thinking to ourselves, something just doesn't seem right here, said Geneva Vasquez with the Fremont PD. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time reading because the lights in my eyes are like bleaching out the monitor screen. Investigators said after an extensive investigation, it was determined through forensic evidence that the man was not Naylor. Following the Folsom incident, Fremont police investigated leads that Naylor may be missing because of foul play. Rather than running away, Police say they reopened the case last summer after an investigator noticed inconsistencies in the original report. Detectives searched the backyard for human remains the day before New Year's Eve and have re-interviewed family, friends, and neighbors. However, the search came up empty. Neighbors say they were glad to see that something is being done after all of these years. Everybody wants an answer. Some people think he was killed, and some people think he just ran away, Forney said. The home is now occupied by Naylor's aunt. The home is now occupied by his aunt. If he came forward and said, "I'm okay," that would really be great. It would allow us to close this case. However, we don't have that, Vasquez said. Anyone with information, contact Fremont Police Detective Jacob Blass, and they leave his phone number there and his email. So that's one of the big stories, and there's just a couple little things like where the Fremont shows him. Daniel Naylor was last seen by his family October 5th, 82. He left their house on his bicycle. The bicycle was later stashed in the bushes near Alameda Creek, which you'll see on the map. Daniel was 14 years old at the time of his disappearance and is now 47. His family and friends have had no contact with him since his disappearance. And it gives you somewhere to contact if...
We could play the video again if you want, so they can watch it. They did hear it.
It's okay, I'm gonna get ready to the ghost box. Alright, well, where was the
videos on this side. Just go over to just like that. Turn that one off. Go to the one that's in the video, which is right there. The settings.
Daniel Naylor went missing in 1982. He was considered a runaway until police found new evidence.
NBC Bay Area Terry McSweeney is in Fremont this evening, the last place where Daniel Naylor was seen. Terry.
Yeah, 14-year-old Daniel Naylor was last reportedly spotted leaving this
Can you
house
see that
here at
right now?
Nightingale Place more than 33 years ago. Well, recently Fremont police reopened the case, re-interviewed witnesses and family members. They executed a search warrant here, which included digging up the backyard. This is a picture of 14-year-old Daniel Naylor in 1982, about the time he disappeared. Police were told he had an argument with his father and left, never to be seen again. Fremont police tell me tonight they're re-interviewing of family members and inconsistencies in some of their statements. Today, Fremont PD were told of a man who looks similar living in Folsom. While the man in Folsom turned out not to be Daniel Naylor, Fremont police did revisit the station to reopen it. We talked to a neighbor of the Naylors who lived here in 1982.
I'm very surprised that the family is being investigated for the disappearance of their son. That we know about. We assume, like everybody else in the community, that young Danny ran away.
Fremont police are not saying what, if anything, they might have found during the execution of that search warrant or the dig in the backyard. They have distributed flyers around here, and they're asking the public if you remember anything about that time back in October of 1982, or as you look at that picture of the new Daniel Naylor, if anything jogs your memory, they'd love to hear from you. Even the smallest thing could be a big break. Live in Fremont, Terry McSweeney, NBC Bay Area News.
Okay, thank you, Terry.
Here's the video. The video's over. Go back to XSplit. Uncheck that one there, which is the camera. And talk next.
Alright. Now I'm going to get to the questions. I wrote down about 20 questions based on things that I was reading. Sometimes I'll ask things a couple times, like I'll ask it at the beginning and then later on just to see how they answer. And you guys can let me know what you think you hear too. It's going to be the Portal SCD1. There's going to be times that like I go over my maps and will like move around the actual aerial maps. Do they see that right now?
Not yet. I can put the map on by.
He's going to add the map so that when I'm actually looking around at the aerial maps, because sometimes they'll even say like hot, cold, north, south, east, west, you know, and give me direction on maps. It might be helpful for you guys to get to see, you know, the directions that they're giving me also. And this is the first run with this guy. So I would be listening back, tagging anything I might hear that's different than any other sessions that I get as far as missing people, and then pretty much asking the same stuff again and again, and you never know.
Okay, what's next?
Alright, so now I'm going to fire up the SCD1. Jeff? Am I ready to turn it on now?
Yeah, turn it on.
Okay. So, let's see, we're at 1, and reverse.
Most income and I can get
Today's children.
Frequency gun.
Yes, I do.
Master it.
Send a flower.
Will be free.
it's together. The 39 coming.
Out of the portal responding behind, or do I need to adjust my voice?
For the 1950. The tax court.
Get into the war.
United States.
Nice to go home.
Their pockets.
Thames.
I have to give them all.
Kill them all?
He's pretty. And you.
Agent.
His son.
Kind of Paris for breakfast.
You got figs up?
There's not.
The American people.
The Parsons know.
And to,
We worked so hard. Talk to
The real trade center.
The mean.
excuse me.
but
Figure is pleased with that.
That they're really.
You know, anyone that.
The open, and I just,
here on earth.
What's that you've got in the
Jeff, why does my thing show offline?
Hey, it's a lovely.
Jeff, why did all of a sudden my thing go offline?
Just fire it out and done.
24.
It's turned out.
roll.
Live a better
Directed energy.
Gonna jump to 30.
I said you can't.
the district court.
There is no God.
It's on. I guess.
Is
I know, but like, what happened?
Turned out nice.
the one judge.
In space.
And you?
I'm going to continue in a moment, guys. We're now like not responding.
We thought you were over.
Because.
And then
It's not an implied
Damn,
corporations
somebody
can
has to know where he is.
And these
Up the general public.
that's elderly or
The person that,
Thank you, Bob.
On Paul at the airport.
yes, oh, that's,
I'm feeling a little.
To actually use the net.
that's dead now.
Is this a cover up from his parents?
And now is it?
man mix of
If corporation.
great country.
It's very
Rather intense and mocked. Well,
young.
Yeah.
Constitution.
to keep it done.
will you come quietly?
Of course, that is true.
Things like night vision goggles. You
Decent.
Confirms really.
Good thing you're close it up.
admit that we have going.
Things.
There's no test.
Come.
And I want.
That's the other thing I want.
Hi there.
It's for them.
And takes care of.
If he's alive, has he been spotted?
Oh,
We have that in the chart.
Things it's proven
There's been a few
Jose.
sightings.
I bet the boomer. Are you back and forth?
But I'm not.
And it.
The great American.
They exercise.
Here.
A lot of knowledge.
One.
There's slack cap.
5,000.
Doesn't they can get
Who stashed his bike?
Just
Michael. That
Two will start working.
train.
7 million people.
you're really smart.
Would
Break for all.
And 90%.
Sorry.
what really
Get it?
Got it, Brett Morris.
the traditional process
Efficient of the tips.
And a lot of
Even the very.
Original music.
of the term.
It's like it looks like they are.
show or
Allegedly having sex.
That's a statement.
You know, it's actually
proud to know.
I hope you're right.
Episode of Strange.
When
If he ran away, wouldn't he need his bike for
And I'm telling-
transportation?
I'm seeing right now.
Like radio doc.
boarded legislative
feed itself.
People are picked.
Yes.
Like on the button.
state law, then they
What?
Going on out there.
Is he alive?
There'll be the rough.
To make it clear.
Next week.
name it. And
For a while.
For the call, and I.
it's called the
Is he dead?
Because
we are no longer sovereign.
and
first set of the
over the net and then
What happened on October 5th,
easier.
1982?
so I wanted to know.
religious immunities.
This is the people's war. Well, I just thought it was
That's correct. And
Resurrect.
Astronauts and
More
What
away.
caused the argument between him and his
whatever
parents?
you're
it all makes sense.
yeah.
Listen.
I have the stuff in.
So
One of the cheerier.
And then you
So hot in here. No.
lost.
From its height,
A Babylon.
memories alive.
Ourselves a
their own food.
Vanishing.
Meaning, watch out for the.
After all, I spent.
Don't ever let somebody
to see.
period.
Right?
Oh, stop moaning. I'll be right there.
Just put it back. People can read it.
For 9/11. Well,
I'm not gonna try to fix everything. It's
on right now.
And I know in the middle of my session that
On a Christmas.
you've just cut in the middle of my session.
Even one.
Can you let me know when I can continue what I'm trying to do?
1, 2, 3. On duty in the market.
Really fighting. They're really.
traditionally do that, but then.
Oh my God, Jeff.
How's
He
it?
doesn't understand that the spirits don't just wait for him to touch stuff.
I'm gonna stay up.
And
Other
the
words.
internet's been bad all weekend. A lot of refreshing.
Houses? This is not
This morning I was up.
There really wasn't
You remember?
What caused the argument between...
to finish it. People already think of it.
20% of the... Don't do it now, but my flags aren't on.
And firing behind.
Is
How you got those?
Is
the original source
that
acquired another.
Think of me standing there.
to myself.
Rob says it's lagging bad, but...
Radio for
They can travel.
heaven. So the
What did you change with it?
And I
For medicine.
I do things myself, and I don't have these problems, and then he works on things for a little bit, and I
16?
come down to it, and it's like
Muttered in their houses.
and extreme.
foreign to
the
me.
rover.
No, that's uncanny.
And so left with his father.
Just totally in.
A whole lot more.
Action guaranteed. There's no virgin.
Need one to the promise.
So far. Eyes calmly.
Good night.
Not my idea, but
English. So
Oh, yes, yes.
God of her.
And that's something.
I can't.
Jen.
I'm so damn pissed.
No son is left.
Which is
mention to the audience.
$1,000 to someone.
I don't know.
news they've been damaged.
To 25.
From Long Way.
Sorry, dear.
It's a creation.
Or whatever the
lifetimes. Well, maybe.
I have to understand.
Are we gonna have a fun paranormal soup tonight?
An animal.
Drop it, door.
So the
on
Because of climate.
I was going to health plans.
Does anybody know any of the names of people in chat right now? While we get this resolved?
Pranksters lurk.
I'm sure a physician.
I'll have to do this again with my notes. Just
Hacking into it.
off of a
10% of
video,
the people.
not live.
God.
I'm not gonna be
totally
able to
right.
use this for my
Couple of whoppers.
episode.
You're too glad to give you a hand.
In the healthcare industry. Hello, good night.
secret government.
Hello.
Troy, Michigan.
Yes, please. And President.
How is everybody tonight?
To the 28th episode.
About
Right?
Any center and non-part.
Stop looking at the pavement.
Is my dad around at all since it's getting close to his anniversary?
That's a pretty.
Do you know his code word?
want.
There should be a
Doesn't mean it's him, but do you know the word?
God. Answer.
not good.
It must be the moon.
Hi, Mama. Hello.
Yes, officer.
On theories.
It's just based at the
He is now called for a
Well, I don't have to tell you. I've been standing here watching.
And what would I ask
So-
him to get a big ladder for?
Executive officers. Big. And
that most
have the same money.
we're told Medscape.
The left time you'll have to.
So
be the daylight and
Mostly not.
Lovely things to
option means basically
the time on the.
to vote for.
But I see it.
Don't make a sound.
vacations.
Never me boot. It will.
Really what creates.
Doesn't matter much.
Everybody talks to everybody.
Some that he views.
Connected a given thought.
It's already
People
It's not changing channels,
So-
it's the skipping of the
more cost.
radio.
have to redo it.
Magic.
And we
know
are
about
working on a test. This is actually a test stream, not
Choosier
an
about
official broadcast.
excellent.
And we have some
it's
friends
perfectly
in here
your
to
game.
help us
There's all
with
that we
sound and audio
confession
check.
that
So this is not an
Of our own
actual
opinions.
official session.
the consumers. Probable alternative.
hidden and lied
The funeral home.
Look,
What?
His customer is all
on the street corner.
they.
Does anybody have anything they'd like to talk
Where is there a
about?
funeral? With a hiding place.
No questions asked.
And 5 p.m.
Since my
Gonna take a
Daniel
break here.
session's over.
Well, Russell,
Where do you come from?
we go up the hill and talk.
Hamburger, certain guys bring this information to
When the man was pronounced,
What are you doing?
Did
Show
somebody
you
do
exactly
something
what.
to the remote controls the other day?
again.
immediately, of course.
3 days ago.
You can either do it because you're and whenever
Recover, he was.
Get out of the window and you're bang.
Those bollocks.
this. However,
And then
this is the
Are there
29th.
any warnings that you were trying to give us?
lines and see what.
Just got some.
That doctors came up. Adverse opinion.
We will speak with
On volume.
In the canteen before I...
Yeah, that's a
talk show host can discuss.
It wasn't the canteen.
28. You can either RSOE.
Taking a potty break.
Children on the planet now.
Well, it wasn't...
Maybe it's not a true refund.
Does anything to do with
That an
the
extra.
planets and Renegade right now have anything to do with why so many of us sensitives are experiencing what we're experiencing?
Fantasy just
Right, so he just had his dinner.
It also shows a cute. I was kind of looking into.
but maybe.
I think it was him.
Fun something very public.
All around me.
Does anybody know where Brandy's at?
Interesting.
Making fun of me.
Is that?
I invent
I locked him up in the dark.
About your trust.
Dread.
Do you know where Gail needs to look to find Brandy?
the machine.
No, I'm afraid
To ask. And the industry only has a honor.
Internet.
I never did nothing.
I'm sorry, you've been
Before.
easy one.
You know.
And to get the
I have to continue.
It's been borrowing from the which bin?
is that
Let's try something different. Let's try different. Let's try Impossible Box.
and I got
Or how about... Should we do the Impossible Box or the Realm? I haven't had much of a chance to use the Realm with the portal yet because I've just been doing missing person cases and going to my go-to Okay. Wait, where's the start? Sometimes I just randomize stuff. Just try different things. Hello? Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Who's here with us tonight? Wait, I just want to put on the Impossible box. Taking a little while to load. Sorry, guys.
The light went on and off.
What light?
The flashlight.
Oh, it did?
Yeah. Let's add this to it so you can.
Hello, hello. We're in mode 1. This is the Impossible box.
Let me let them see this. I can't see it.
How is everybody tonight? I was going to work on a missing person case tonight, but we had to do a little bit too much IT work. I'm going to do it tomorrow, though.
To try anything happens, please also get a check.
You guys know who I was talking about?
And you can do that pretty much anywhere you are. So here's an interesting.
75727.
Get this down more, it'll just get better. So I'm going to do my private session for the missing case tomorrow for Daniel.
And the output. Click that